Good morning. This webinar offers closed captioning. To enable closed captioning, click on the live transcript button on the bottom of your screen and choose your preferred method. Welcome to the Chicago Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection webinar. Please note any website or email that I mentioned will be posted in the chat. For those seeking business license assistance, you can visit the Small Business Center here at City Hall or call 312-74-GO-BIZ. Also, business license can be applied for or renewed online at chicagobusinessdirect.org. If you are a part of the BACP Entrepreneur Certificate Program, you can get credit for joining this webinar by sending an email to bacpoutreach@cityofchicago.org. To learn more about this program, please visit chicago.gov/business education. This webinar is being recorded and will be available at youtube.com/Chicago BACP. We encourage all attendees to ask questions. Please use the chat box to send your questions. There will be a Q&A session at the end of this presentation. Today's webinar is entitled Enhancements to Chicago's Sexual Harassment Laws, presented by the Chicago Commission on Human Relations. At this time, I will now turn this webinar over to Commissioner Nancy Andre for us to begin.
Good morning. Welcome to today's webinar, Enhancements to Chicago's Sexual Harassment Laws. And as it was just mentioned, this webinar is being presented by the Commission on Human Relations, known by its acronym as the CCHR, and in collaboration with the Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection, known by its acronym as BACP. I am Nancy Andrade. I'm the commissioner for the CCHR, and we are here to help you understand some of the updates or all of the updates that have been made to the sexual harassment laws. We will provide an overview of the changes and what that means for employers in Chicago and for businesses licensed to do business in the city of Chicago. So you may be wondering why these changes were made. So according to Futures Without Violence, 4 in 5 women experience sexual harassment in the workplace in the United States. The changes to Chicago's sexual harassment laws align with the citywide strategic plan to address gender-based violence and human trafficking. This plan specifically seeks to analyze and reform policies that perpetuate or create opportunities for gender-based violence and human trafficking, by strengthening worker protections and educating workers and their allies about their rights so that they can continuously advocate for safe and just workplaces. If we can go to the next slide, please. And if we can go to the following slide, please. Thank you. So these are the actual enhancements that were made to the sexual harassment ordinance. The first one is it provides clarity by revising the definition of sexual harassment to explicitly include sexual misconduct. It also requires businesses to incorporate a written sexual harassment policy. A model policy is available on the CCHR website. If you click on the CCHR website, you will see an icon with a hand that says Stop Sexual Harassment. That icon houses all of the information that we are going to cover in today's webinar. It covers the templates for the model policy. It covers the posters that are the signage requirements. And it also includes the training modules for employees, managers, and the bystander intervention training modules for all. The third point is that the changes will add safety measures for employees. This allows the CCHR to expand the notification timeline from 10 days up to 30 days. So CCHR has flexibility on when it must notify a respondent on the filing of a complaint. This is intended to help mitigate any retaliation, such as denial of a reasonable accommodation request. This also increases the statute of limitations. Victims will now have 365 days rather than 300 days to report all forms of discrimination, including sexual harassment. And the increase in the training requirements are the following. It's 1 hour of sexual harassment prevention for all employees annually and 2 hours for supervisors and managers. including an additional training requirement of 1 hour of bystander training for all employees annually. That includes supervisors and employees. If you can switch to the following slide, thank you. So the state training template, which provides 1 hour of training, is sufficient for the sexual harassment prevention training for employees. Training modules for the additional hour of training and for the bystander training are available to employers at the CCHR website. And finally, there have been an increase in penalties to all forms of discrimination from the previous $500 to $1,000 range per violation. They have now been increased to $5,000 to $10,000. And the increase is basically to keep in mind that we want to be on par with other sister cities, metropolitan locations that are of the same size of Chicago, which have the same sort of a fine schedule. And this is also meant to let people know that we do take this seriously. Chicago has zero tolerance for gender-based violence and zero tolerance for sexual harassment. Some questions that folks have been asking us are, will these training modules be available? They are. As I mentioned before, they are on the Stop Sexual Harassment icon, the little hand on our website. They are free to download. When you view the training, at the end of the training, a certificate will automatically generate. And the person watching the training module has to type in their name, their information, and then a certificate of completion will be automatically generated. Additionally, for the signage and for the model policies, those are also provided. Another question we've been asked frequently is whether the signage and the model policies will be available in different languages. The answer is yes to both. With regards to the signage, we have signage, and this is what it looks like. It looks like this. It's blue background. We have that in 5 different languages. We have it in English, Spanish, simplified Chinese, Arabic, Hindi, and Polish. So 6 languages total, English plus 5 additional languages. The same thing goes with the model policy. One item that we would like to stress is that the model policy is a template. It's not what you find on our website is easily accessible. All the employers can download the model policy, but each employer must personalize that template to fit the needs of their particular business and to include the name of their particular business in the policy. So the policy, again, that is posted is available to download for free, and it is available as well in the English and the 5 additional languages that I referenced: Spanish, Polish, Hindi, Arabic, and simplified Chinese. However, again, we are stressing that it is just a template. You are to use that and to fit the individual needs of your business. At this point, I will open up the webinar for any questions and answers. I am going to state that we are not able to answer specific personalized questions with regard to your individual situation. For individualized questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Can we get the next slide, please? You can contact us at cchr@cityofchicago.org. Email us, we will respond to you, and we will speak with you individually regarding your individual business needs and business concerns. And for our general information, please visit our website, chicago.gov/sexual harassment. So if anyone has any questions, we will open this up for Q&A.
Hey, Commissioner, I do see some questions here. First question, if our harassment policy outlines sexual harassment, do we need to have two separate policies to be in compliance with the new changes?
Joanne, would you like to take that?
I'll jump in. No, it doesn't, as long as it's consistent with our ordinance. So you have to review your policy against what the city has provided. And as long as it's consistent, no, you do not have to have an additional policy.
Is there another question? Something
Want to
I'd
know,
like,
is the training available in Spanish and in Chinese?
I'm sorry,
Would the training be available in Chinese and Spanish?
yes, it is the goal to have that available as well. We will have that available.
How long will the training be available for free?
The training will be available forever on our website.
Mm,
Employees will have 1 hour of training, sexual harassment training, plus the 1 hour of bystander intervention. Managers will have 2 hours of sexual harassment training, plus the bystander intervention.
In regards to training, will employees have 2 hours training and managers, supervisors have 3 hours of training?
I think I just answered that one, sorry.
Okay,
Sorry, I was a little bit ahead of you.
okay.
And something I would like to stress, because we've been getting calls and questions about folks businesses who are not required to have a City of Chicago business license because they are licensed somewhere else. So I'm going to state the following. If you do not have a City of Chicago business license because you are not required to have one, and you do not have a facility or location or an office in Chicago, then there is no need to comply with the signage, the poster requirement, or in updating your written policy, or in the training, because you are not, this applies only if you are not required to have a business license in the City of Chicago and you do not have a facility. However, that being said, in that sort of situation, sexual harassment in general, enforcement applies across the board. You still can't allow sexual harassment, even if you're not located in Chicago, if you don't have a business license in Chicago.
So employees have to take the trainings on an individual basis, and then they receive their certificate once they enter in their names. Is there no way to do this course as a group? And do employers have to keep these certificates on file?
Ken or Joanne, would you like to jump in?
Well, employers can use whatever mechanism they want to keep records of their employees and the training. Of course, yes, trainings can be done as a group. It's not necessary that they be done individually. We just want to make sure that good records are kept, that all employees do receive the training. And that, again, the businesses are able to use whatever mechanism they already have to do so.
More questions? They're coming in actually really fast. Do independent contractors need to complete sexual harassment training also?
And Joanne?
I can read it again. Do independent contractors need to complete sexual harassment trainings?
I will jump in, Joanne, correct me if I'm wrong. If that independent contractor is on your work site, for sure, they should have that training. If they're operating, let's say remotely, and they're never in your office, they never have any need to actually visit your facility, I would say no. But definitely, if they're going to be in your building, in your office, they should.
That's correct.
Do business need to report or certify that employees have completed the sexual harassment and bystander intervention training?
I can take that one. The ordinance requires that you retain records for 5 years. However, there's no reporting requirement. Like, you don't have to send those records to the commission, but you do need to retain those records on site at your business.
I am a business without a location in Chicago, and I am not required to hold a City of Chicago business license. However, my employees may occasionally go on assignment in Chicago. Are we required to send a new anti-harassment ordinance posting to these employees?
That it's part of the training. No, you're not. If you're under the ordinance, the definition of an employer is someone a business who's required to hold a City of Chicago business license and or has a facility here. If you don't, then you don't need to comply with the training, posting, and policy distribution requirements of the ordinance. But the substantive portions of the ordinance, the prohibition against sexual harassment in general, you do have to comply with.
Is the training meeting the same standards of the Illinois state employer mandated state training? Or do the clients have to do the state training and other type of training for business such as restaurants and construction business that had the additional requirements?
I'm not aware of construction having different ones, but also if you take the Illinois, the state mandated training, that does satisfy the 1 hour for all employees. But you still have to take managers and supervisors have to take the additional hour and of course, as in addition to the bystander intervention training.
When will the training be available on the website? And can you confirm what languages? I show the written notices and policies are posted, but not the training.
They will be posted. If they haven't been posted, they will probably be posted by the end of this webinar.
Can the records be stored online or hard copy?
I'm sorry, may I go back on that? As the commissioner said, the training will be posted today. The additional languages other than English will be up early next week.
Mhm.
Can the records be stored online or hard copy, or do we need hard copies?
That's totally up to the employer.
Just to confirm, do employees need to complete the exact trainings CCHR is providing, or can business develop their own training? And if so, will there be templates of what the training needs to be composed of?
Businesses can offer their own training. Our training is only a model. These are things that we are suggesting that be included in your trainings, but certainly businesses can have their own training.
Does bystander training need to be completed annually?
Yes.
So you said employees take the 1 hour sexual harassment and an additional 1 hour for bystander.
Correct.
We'll take one or two more questions and then we will conclude the webinar. But as you can see on the screen, please reach out to us. We are here to help you. We are here to assist you and hold your hand as much as necessary. So you can email us as the preferred way of contacting us. This way we can, again, give you personalized assistance.
One quick overview of the chat. Look like we got one more question that just came in.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't a question. It was just a comment. They're saying thank you for today's information. Commissioner, I think that's it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for attending.
Thank you, everyone.
And we look forward to working with you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.